Good morning, everybody. It's Jean-Marie. I have finally received my March bargain bead box. I received it Saturday, actually. I have made a couple of things from it already, so some of my pieces are missing. My pendant piece, the #1 item that came, I have already wrapped and made a pendant necklace from, so that's not in here. But I'm not going to do an unboxing anyway. I got my box so late that I really don't want to do an unboxing. I'm just going to do a quick overview of what's in here and then get to making a project. So our first item was that pendant, the Amazonite teardrop pendant. Second item are these little 3mm Amazonite faceted rounds. And then we received 18 by 16mm Amazonite half drilled drops. We have the 8mm Amazonite rounds, 8mm flower Amazonite matte rounds, 10mm agate dyed, matte also. The, yep, you find it on here so I can remember what they're called. Crystal 8x6 crystal faceted rondelles, peaches and cream mix. And then we got these little mint, marbled mint drops. They're an 8mm faceted drop. The 2 filigree pendant pieces, teardrop pendants, are scrolled chandeliers, lantern beads in copper, all copper tones here. The scrolled bead caps, also in copper, our toggle clasps, some chain, our lever back ear wires, eye pins, and a pinch bail. It's all of our products for this box. I will be using this, these, this, a little bit of everything, I guess. The box this month is called SEAFOAM Sunrise. It is an $89.84 value, and we get that for the price of $22.99. So not bad. And I'm going to get my housekeeping right out of the way right here and now before we get any further, and then we'll just dive into making a project. So for anyone who doesn't know what the bargain bead box is, it is a monthly beading subscription, and it comes like this with all these beautiful components to work with, also with a lot of metal findings so that you can make projects right out of the box. There's a lot here. Like I said, this was $22.99. It's an $89.84 value. A lot to work with. Gemstone beads, nice beautiful copper findings, some beautiful crystal. So I mean, you can't beat that for the price. So yeah, if you're interested in joining the bargain bead box, I do have a coupon code. It is CHAR2, C-H-A-R-2. If you use that when you subscribe, you'll save $2 off your first box, so you'll get your first box for $20.99, which is an even better deal, obviously. If you are already, if you haven't subscribed to the box and are not interested in subscribing to the box, you can also use the code in the sister store, Beadbox Bargains, and just save $2 off, a purchase in the store, just a shopping trip. So that also, is a huge help. But if you do subscribe to the bargain bead box, you get a coupon code every single month that you can use in the sister store for 30% off your purchase, which is a huge, huge value. I mean, their prices are already extremely reasonable, and then you get 30% off whatever you shop for. You can't beat that. I mean, you just can't beat that. So yeah, that's the bargain bead box. That's my little housekeeping on that deal. So again, I want to mention that I do have my super stickers now if anyone is interested. If not, that's fine. It's totally up to you. I don't want to pressure anybody. At the moment, Star, one of my subscribers, has purchased a sticker, and she is currently the one that's going to be getting the beaded strand that I will give out at the end of the month, unless somebody else happens to purchase one between now and then it will go into a drawing. But right at the moment, Star, you're the only one. So right now, you are the one that's going to get the bead strand. Unless, you know, between now and the end of March, somebody else, you know, should happen to purchase one. And then, like I said, it'll go into a drawing. And my plan with that is to, anyone who purchases one will go into a drawing monthly. At the end of the month, I'll draw a name, and just as a little thank you for your support, you'll get a nice strand of beads or a packet of findings or some little type of thank you gift just for being, you know, supportive to me and my channel. Because, you know, I just want to show my support to you guys for supporting me, or my thanks to you guys for supporting me, because I wouldn't be here without you. I mean, if you guys weren't watching my channel, watching my videos, I wouldn't be here. So thank you guys. And that is that. Let's get to the project. I'm going to clear up and get out what I need. Okay, so in addition to what came in the box, I am going to add some ball head pins, some beading string. This is a kind of a coppery colored one, but whatever you have will work. For the most part, beading string doesn't really ever show. So we are going to need that. We are going to need a few jump rings, and these ones I have are from the Beadbox Bargain Sister, you know, Beadbox Store Beadbox Bargains. God, that's a mouthful. And it's ring 96, and they're just little 4mm antique copper rings. I am also going to use some little spacer beads. Totally unnecessary if you don't have them or don't want to use them. You know, that's, you know, you don't have to. There's really no need for it. I am going to need crimp beads and clamshells, which I did not get out, evidently. So I do need to get those out still. I don't need them at the moment, so I'll wait on that. But this is what our focal piece will look like. It is the half drilled. I have already glued this one because I didn't want to have to wait for it to dry. So we'll go through the steps with this one to show you what I did. And we're going to use our lantern beads, and I'm going to use these mint drops, the little faceted 3mm, or 8mm chain, bead caps, and eye pins. So that's everything we've got right here. So for the most part on this necklace, I have kind of come up with an idea of what I want to do, but I haven't 100% planned it out. So it's a little bit of a, you know, a bead with me as I figure it out, but I do have a general idea in mind. And so my thoughts on this are, see, with the bead cap here, and I basically want to make it like a staggered, like a V-shaped staggered focal. So let me see, I think we need, and I might add another round to that, I'm not quite sure yet. So something like that. Yeah, I definitely want to add another. Definitely want to add another bead because I want it to kind of end with everything being a section shorter as it goes to get to the top. So I think it's going to look like this. We'll see. But in the meantime, let's work on this piece. So for this piece, all I did was take one of my eye pins, and I'm sure you all have figured out by now that they are not drilled all the way through and that you need to do something to make them work. So what I'm going to do with mine, and you can buy those little, they're just a little eye, and they're about this long, and this piece looks like a screw, and you can buy them to put into beads like this. But I'm just going to cut my eye pin off, but I do want to make it a little bit longer. This one isn't quite straight. But I want to make it long enough to put on a bead and still have enough room to glue it in. So about a little less than 1/4 of an inch, I think. Should be long enough, but I'll know in a minute when I put it in here if it has. Nope, that's perfect. If I still had wire showing like this, I would have to trim a little more off, but it went right up to the bead. So, and actually I did want to add a bead. No, do I want to add a bead cap? No, I didn't add a bead cap, so nope, never mind. So literally that is all I did. And then I just took a little glue, and I'm not going to glue this one because I actually want to make something else with it, and I just, added glue all to the wire until I had quite a bit on there, good amount, and yeah, just put it in, and then I let it set for like 12 hours until it was good and sturdy. I mean, it doesn't need probably 12 hours, but that's what I gave it anyway, just to be on the safe side. And this is what I've got. And I don't know why the head pin on this one was so pinched. I think I glued it and realized I had too much. I ended up having to cut it down. That's why. So it doesn't have a great head on the end of it, but that's okay. It won't matter. It'll work just fine. Now, let me see. So the rest of these we are going to be using. For this one and this one, we're going to use a ball head pin. And for the center one, we're going to use an eye pin because we need to hook to this piece. And then for all of these, we're going to use eye pins. So we're going to use quite a few eye pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them. So it's quite a few. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go. So that's my thoughts so far on this piece. I'm not going to string these through the beading wire. These are going to be hooked to chain. So I will eventually have to cut off a chunk of my chain to hook them to, but we'll get to that in a minute. And then we'll go from there and figure it out as we go. So on the ball head pin, I'm just going to put a bead cap and my little gumdrop bead. I know that's not what they're called, but that's what I'm going to be calling them. So if you hear me say gumdrop bead, that's what I'm referring to. And we're going to give it a little bend. And we'll come in with our round nose pliers. Grab the end of that wire. And just make a wrapped loop around it. So we have this. I can straighten it up a little bit, I guess. And then we have it. And then come in and trim that off. There's the one for this side. And these two here are the only ones that are going to be using this method because of the fact that you can't really end it with a jump ring. I mean, a jump ring. And eye pin because you can have an eye at the bottom. So if you don't happen to have any ball head pins, you can take a little bit of wire and make a knotted head pin. I'm not going to go through this. Oops. I'm not going to go through the steps on that with you because I'm just not that good at making them, and it's not worth me going through the steps with it because there's so many other people out there that do them really well that you'd be better off watching. Sarah Lovecraft does a beautiful knotted head pin. There is a tutorial out there. I don't know who it's by, but the whole thing is just based on making a knotted head pin. So if you go to YouTube, search, and just put in, knotted head pins, you're going to find plenty of people to show you how to make really nice knotted head pins. Far better than I would be able to show you. I can make them enough to get by and use them, but honestly, they're not the prettiest. And I'm really just not that fond of them. I really don't particularly care for them. But they're good in a pinch. Oh, shoot. I just totally cut my loop off. Should have been paying attention to what I was doing. See? Real time. Things happen. That's okay. Didn't like that one anyway. So up and over, around. I know a lot of people take theirs off at this point and hold it in a pair of pliers. I like leaving it on my pliers while I'm doing it. For some reason that one slipped. But you do it the way you're comfortable with it. Clearly. There we go. Let's see if we can trim it this time without cutting the loop. I don't know how I managed to do that, but things happen. Okay, now we will take an eye pin and do the exact same thing on this one, only we don't have to wrap it. All we have to do is bend it over, trim it off, and roll a loop. And this is good strong wire, so definitely is an eye pin on the end of it is an eye on the end of it is going to be plenty strong enough for that. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do a simple rolled loop on all of these little copper beads and all of these 8mm Amazonite beads, and I will be right back. Okay, they are all linked up and ready to be put together. And I just realized that these two blue ones that are on the end, I should have totally used ball head pins for, because they are just going to hang separately. I will have to cut those off and redo them. But we'll start putting these together first. Okay, I'm really embarrassed to say this, but also these ones do. All right, it's early. I'm clearly not awake yet. I'm still on my first cup of coffee, and that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. Oh well, you know what? It just shows you what can happen, right? Alrighty. Told you I hadn't planned this out that well. Oh, too funny. All right. Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff, sure. At the end of the day, it was just a couple of eye pins. But we do have to do a lot more wrapped loops now. So I will do one more, and then I will finish them up off screen, because you guys don't need to watch me wrap every single one of these. And I'm really not that good at it anyway. So I think I'm going to do this one with my hand. It's a lot quicker with my hand. Maybe I'll do mom with my hand. That went really quick. Alright. Find my cutters. don't know what I was thinking. All right, I'm going to do those other three. I'll be right back. Okay. Looking much better now. Okay, so where this one is a wire wrapped, I'm going to need to open the eye on this one here and get the right side of it. I'm going to feed that on there. That. I think it's going to be pretty. I hope so. Alright, open the other end of this one. Try to make sure I string them on in the right order, because the way this morning's going, I could end up with them upside down. It wouldn't surprise me in the least. Alright. Stop and look at it, make sure I'm right. Do you ever have one of those days? That has been my life. One of those days. Oh, come on now. Don't fight me. There we go. Oh, I think it's looking pretty. I will admit, this box had me a little bit stumped. It took me a couple of days to really look at it and figure out what I wanted to do with it. Such a pretty box. Beautiful. I love this green. My absolute favorite colors in the whole world are mint green, well, like a teal mint green, and coral. Like my bedroom is all mint green and, or teal green and coral. My kitchen is teal green. I mean, my bathroom is teal green and coral. I love that color, those color combinations. And this is kind of what this is, because this kind of has a corally look to it. There's some corals in with the crystal. And then you've got this beautiful minty teal green. And yet, it stumped me. I have been like so stumped with it. I don't understand why. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe I just have a little bit of creative block or something going on, but it took me a little bit to figure out what I wanted to do with it. But that's, you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. And that's fine. I think what I have come up with is really pretty. I think it's going to be, but we'll see. All right, so we've gotten this far. Now we want to link this all to chain. So I think I want 2 links on the end, and then a hook one on, and then I want one in between. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I need 17 links, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see if I have another piece here that's already cut, because I did cut some from my other necklace. That looks too long, actually. Alright, I'm just going to have to cut off. 17 links. It's just all there is to it. Alright. Hopefully I counted right. You do want to make sure your chain is laying flat. And all your links are pointing in the right direction. Otherwise you're going to end up hooking to the opposite side and it's never going to lay right. Press that chain out of my way. Now, do I want to hook directly or do I want to Use jump rings. I think I'm going to have to use jump rings because I have these ones that don't open. So I think I'm going to have to use a jump ring on them. Let me get out my pliers. And start putting it together and see how it looks. So I want to skip 2, go into 3. Oh, I'm dumping everything over. I have very limited room here to work today. I have so much stuff sprawled out on my desk. It's a nightmare. Alright, I got one on, yay! Make sure I'm still on the right side of it. It's this little fiddly stuff that always gets me. Making sure the chain's laying right, you know, making sure that these little tiny jump rings are closed tight. And alrighty, let me see. So every time I'm doing this, I'm going to end up laying it out just to make sure I'm still laying flat. And skipping a link, skipping one link all the way down. This is going to be a little bit time consuming right here. Probably the most, well, I don't know, I won't say that. I'll say most time consuming part, but I haven't started on the rest of the necklace yet, so I don't know. Off screen, aren't I? There goes my beads. Come on now. Unfortunately, every time I pick it up to close the jump ring, it's going to twist on me, so I'm going to have to untwist it like every single time, but I don't know how else to, maybe I can just lay it here and get it closed. Let's try this. And these jump rings aren't very good, they don't close tight. They're the overlapping ones. Here, I think I'm the right one. Dang. Yeah, it's looking really pretty. I like it. You could always work in some of your other colors too if you wanted to. Clearly I did not cut this chain correctly, or 17 wasn't the right count. Come on now. Nice to me. Okay, I think I need to open this one just a little more. There we go. Yeah, that looks really pretty. So somehow I ended up with, I think maybe did I say I was going to leave 3 on the each end or 2? Because I have 4 on this one and 2 on that one, so I don't know. Either way, I'll just, should I add 2 more to that one? Or should I just take 1 off this one and add 1 to that one? The nice thing about these links is they do open. And I think I'm just going to take 1 off this side with 4 and put it on the other side with the 2 and give it 3 and 3. Assuming I can find the other end. Come on. There. Perfect. I'm sorry if I'm wiggling the table too much today. When I hit the table, it does jiggle my tripod, unfortunately. I feel like I've been bumping it a lot today. When you get ready to hook this all together, you want to make sure you've got your chain laying right. I've totally tangled mine up somehow. Oops, sorry. Kitty's at the door. Almost got it, folks. Here we go. I got it. Oh, oh no. Okay. Just pause for a second. Let my cat in. Okay, after all that, he didn't come in anyway. Pain in the butt. So he's apt to be at the door again eventually. Just to warn you. Now, how do I want to finish this off? I'd really like to work in some more of these ones. We have a lot of them, so that makes it nice. But what do I want to do with them? Like that. Do I want to put bead caps on them? No, I think think I want to put a spacer bead in there. Alright, how about these? Just to finish off the little points of these gumdroppy ones. How does that look? Let's see. That's not too bad. Do I, at this point, want to string beads on, or I did get out my beading wire. I could do a beaded section from here to here. Or do I want to keep? I think I don't want to bring another color in, so I don't want to use the peach crystals. I want to keep it just copper and teal. I think I'm just going to do a couple more of those like that. Let's see how that looks. Let's do 3. Yeah, I kind of like that. I like that. I think my third layer is just going to be chain. So there'll be some kind of beaded section here in the middle. Maybe using the rounds. Speaking of which, I got the ones that dropped on the floor. There. Yeah, I like that. I think I'm going to do it. I don't think I'm going to string it. I think I want it loose and flowy, so I think I'm going to go with eye pins, so it stays kind of the same as the general look here. Alright, let me put one together. Let's see what we get. See if it'll even fit on the eye pin, actually. It may not. Oh, it's going to just fit, I think. It does fit. So, yeah, I like that. So I'm going to give it a bend. Give it a... Boy, there's not much to cut off. It really just made it. Okay, at this point, though, do I want to add something from between here and the chain? No, I don't. I don't think so. I just want to work it like that. There's going to be so much going on that I think keeping this kind of a plain stretch, you know, I don't know. We'll see. There's nothing minimalistic about this one, that's for sure. Oh yes, there he goes again. I knew that was going to happen. He wants to go out so bad because he feels a spring in the air, but today is really cold. It actually snowed a little while ago and we got snow on the ground. So he wants to go out, but he gets out there and then he's cold and he wants to come back, and he's probably been out like 5 times this morning. I'll be right back. Okay, so there's 2 of them done, and I think that's looking really pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna do a couple more. I did end up having to dig out some eye pins of my own because I've already made, like I said, I've already made a couple of projects and have used up some. So I did end up having to dig out some of my own eye pins. These might be longer than the ones that came in the box. I honestly don't know. But if you don't, you know, if you decided to do something like this and you don't have the little silver copper beads, it's not going to matter anyway, because that's, you know, that's taking up some of that length. But just keep that in mind. Again, you could always use the these on the end of it as well, the little crystal faceted 3mm. That'd be just as pretty. Do I want a jump ring in between them? Maybe. We'll see in a minute. Just put my nail polish on this morning. It's already starting to chip. It's from bending over it. Bending my wire across it. There. I think that's probably going to be enough of them on this side. I may end up having to add a little chain at some point. Probably will anyway, because that'd be too thick at the top here for three things to connect there. So it's probably going to be a little chain there anyway. Maybe like a 2-inch or 3-inch length. We will see. Alrighty, I'm going to pause and just do up the other two, just because you've watched me do these ones and you don't need to watch me do them all. It gets a little repetitive and boring. Okay, got those ready. Now my chain is all cut up because I was making something with it and then changed my mind. So I've got all these different lengths of chain. So, yeah, I may end up having to reconnect some of it at some point. But we'll worry about that when we get there. And so now I'm just going to add jump rings to everything to connect everything together here. Now at this point, keeping this thing straight and flat doesn't matter. It won't until I get ready to attach it to these. When I get ready to attach those, I definitely want to make sure it's laying flat. But for the purpose of connecting stuff, it's fine. I'll try to find some of these jump rings that aren't so bad. So I just learned today, and I probably should have always known this, but the Xuron Plier Company is located in Saco, Maine. I never knew that. So that's pretty cool. Not that these are Xuron, they're not. I've never owned a pair of Xuron, and I do want to eventually. But finding out that they're made right here in Maine was kind of cool. Nice to know that Maine's known for something in the jewelry industry. I may even have to take a trip to Saco this summer and tour it, just for the fun of it. Maybe I'll record it. That'd be kind of cool. Give everybody a little tour of the Zoran Manufacturing Company. Maybe I can even talk them into donating some supplies to my cause. Kind of nice though. Maine is such a beautiful, beautiful state, and I know I mentioned before it's also a very, very poor state because we do depend on tourism, and in the wintertime there's not a whole lot of tourism. So, you know, it's really nice to have a company that's right here in Maine, and I definitely will be supporting them now that I know that. Support my local company. I want to check and see how much chain I want between here and there. I'll be right back with it. I don't want much, that's for sure. I do have a couple short pieces I cut right there. That might be just enough. I think I'm going to go with that. And I think I'm going to attach it right to my link. Because using more jump rings is going to create more length. So this was like, it was 4 links. Let me check that one actually, make sure it's 4. Yeah, 4 links. Get the right side to open. No, Sam. You be a good boy. Okay. I am going to use a jump ring on here. Make sure I've got this whole thing laid out correctly. Looks it. And let me see. Find one of the good jump rings in here. Hope everybody had a good weekend this weekend. I did. I had my 2 oldest granddaughters on Saturday, Kennedy and Lily. Kennedy's going to be 3 in May, and Lily is 9. So it was a lot of fun with them. We had a blast. They make me laugh so much. It's not even funny. It's just, oh my God, being a grandparent is just an amazing thing. I just love it. But we had a blast. We went to McDonald's and had lunch and did a little bit of grocery shopping, and they're just so funny. They, you know, they feed off on each other to make each other laugh. Lily, being older, of course, tries to get Kennedy going, and Kennedy, being younger and looking up to her big cousin, is just like eating it up. So it's so cute. I just love it. Alright, so I've got these 2 links of chain that are probably going to be too short. Oh, this one longer? I'm not sure. I'm definitely going to have to add chain together because I don't even remember why I cut it. I was doing something with it, but... Okay, so... Let me see. I'm probably going to have to add about... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 links to that. So I'm just going to set that aside for now because we're not working on that section right now, but I just wanted to check that. And now to figure out what we're going to put here in the middle. Maybe something like this. Lantern bead. I think I want to bring in a couple of these little pops of color here. Now, do I want to just keep going like that? Actually, it's really pretty. So it would be like that, and then it would be do I want to do that, or do I want to bring more gumdrop beads in? Alternate between the blue rounds and then the gumdrop. That and that. Let's see. I actually kind of like it with just the rounds. I don't think I really want that. Let me check something. I'll be right back. Okay, I made a decision. I am going to continue it. Like this. And I don't know how many I'm going to need. If I need to end on this, probably will need one more of the lantern bead links. Once they're linked together, it's going to pull it down a little bit. So try to pull out the greenest green ones of these little faceted beads. I really like the ones with the darker color because they really pop, especially against that copper. All right, so there's that, and again, just a bunch of eye pins. God, these beads are so pretty. So this will kind of hang here and then go up, I think. I think that'll work. Yeah, so that's 5 of the 8mm in total. Alright, let me bead some of these other pieces on and see what we get. That one's pretty white. I think I'll pick out a different one. So the fun part begins with trying to find the hole. There we go. That one went on pretty good. It's always a game of finding the holes on these little things. There. Yeah, I think that's going to be really pretty. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Yeah, I like that. Okay, I'm going to get that all put together. Well, all the ends cut and rolled, and then we'll be back to see if that's going to be enough. Okay, I've got those all put together, all cut and rolled. I don't think I want to use jump rings in this section. I think I just want to link them together. I don't know. We'll see. Do I? No, I think I better use jump rings. Otherwise, they're not going to hang quite as flowy. I just really don't like using these jump rings. The small ones, I fight with them so much. But all right, I'm going to get out some more so I can pick up the better ones. That one's a good one. That one looks okay. I don't like the ones that overlap each other a little too much. They don't close right. Okay, so let's get started putting this together. So I didn't end up using the bead string and wire at all, so therefore I do not need to dig out the clamshells and crimp beads because I'm not going to need them. So did, however, use a lot of eye pins. That's okay. I love the look of them when they're like free floating like this, as opposed to being strung on beading wire. Beading wire is beautiful and I love using it. I use it a lot, but I don't know, there's just something prettier about them being linked together. It's a little more elegant looking, I think. And that's totally my opinion. I mean, especially when you're using this copper. Now it's raining. Well, it's kind of an icy rain. Good day to stay in. I think after this I'll do some crocheting. My daughter-in-law, Tiffany, she's an author. She writes children's books. And she wrote one recently that's on Amazon. It's called Fly Butter. F-L-Y, and then butter, you know, just, and it's this little caterpillar that essentially wants to fly. He can't wait to fly. He doesn't understand why he can't fly, and so on and so forth. And then he goes through, I can't say the word, but yeah, no, when they go into a cocoon and become a butterfly. But anyway, I have been crocheting Butter, because that's his name. The little caterpillar's name is Butter, and that's why they say fly butter. So I have been crocheting butter for her to sell with her book when she goes to her book signings. So I think probably after I'm done with this tutorial and get it all up, I will spend the rest of my afternoon, the rest of my morning, I should say, because it's still morning here. It's only like 8:30, 9 o'clock now. I'll spend the rest of my day, or a good portion of it, working on some more of those for her. It's a super cute little book. And she dedicated it to her daughter, my granddaughter, Paisley. I'm going to go have lunch with them on Friday, so I'll get to see Paisley. I haven't seen her in a little bit. It'll be nice. Oops, knocking stuff over again. almost there. Alright, now to see where it falls. And how much chain I'm going to need to add to this side. So I did 4 links on that side, and I'm thinking, well, let me get out a chunk of my chain here. I'm thinking probably 8 on this side. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8 links on this side. I'm going to hook these two together while I'm at it, while I've got this link opened. Just because I know I'm going to need more length in there. Maybe. There we go. Alright. So there's 8 for that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's that. And that's what we're getting so far. Alright, I am already over an hour, so I'm just going to connect the chain and the ends just to save a little time here. So I'll be back with that all connected. Okay, that's attached now. So now just to get a decent, gosh, I almost think that might be just about right. Let me take off 2 links here. Oh, this is a bad link anyway, so I'll just pull off that one and call it good. That's where I cut the other one off. So is that going to be good? Should take off a little more. I might need to take off 2 more actually, because I want to add jump rings to attach it. So this chain piece here ended up being, just if anyone wants to know, 9 inches. This is a 9-inch piece of chain right here. So again, I'm going to pause and clip that on. Sorry about all the pausing, but I'm trying to save some time here. Okay, so as everybody knows, me opening and closing jump rings can be rather time consuming, so there's not much point in adding that into the video if I don't have to. But here we have the necklace so far. Isn't that beautiful? I think it kind of has a little bit of a boho look. So now we're just going to add some chain to the back. Let me check and see how much I need. Probably a good 5 inches on each side. So let me see what I've got left for chain now. And I do have a couple of pieces left. This one might be, so let me check and see what I've got. If this is 10 inches, I can just cut it in half. No, it's not, 7.5. This one is just over 5, so I think I'm just going to use this piece and cut this one to the same size. Try to get this done in time so that you guys can actually see a picture of it all on the bust. Sorry to be keeping you all so long. Alright, I'm going to cut this, attach it, and be right back. Alright, I attached the chain to the back with a couple of jump rings, and I attached the toggle, so I am now going to put it on a form and show it to you. So here is our finished necklace. And I think it looks really, really pretty. So thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you spending your time with me. Thank you all for all your support, all your kind words, comments and stuff. I really, really appreciate it. It keeps me motivated and keeps me wanting to put out more tutorials for you guys. So thank you guys. I know this has been a long one and appreciate you sticking with me. Have a wonderful day. Thank you guys. Bye.